Hello, good morning. This is Silar. See, today I will explain a ninth class topic. A ninth class topic, that is a cell. What is that? Cell. Cell, the structural and functional unit of life. Functional unit of life. So this is the very first topic in ninth class biology. Cell, the structural and functional unit of life. And if you see, cell, all living organisms are composed of cells, and cell is calling as structural and functional unit of an organism. That means the functioning of an organism depends upon the cell. How a cell performs depends upon that organism function is there. How a cell structure is there depends upon a organism structure is there. That's why we call cell is structural and functional unit of life. Earlier class 8th, you learnt there cells comes together to form tissues. Tissues comes together to form organs. Organs comes together to form organ systems. These organ systems come together to form an organism. These organisms come together to form a population. These populations come together to form an ecosystem. This is what we learnt. See, when cells come together, they form a tissue. When tissues come together, they form an organ. When organs comes together, they form an organ systems. When organ systems comes together, they form an organism. When organisms comes together, they form a population. When populations comes together, they form a ecosystem. So like that we read in 9th class. And today's class we will see how this history of cell science started. Actually, the study of cell is calling as cytology. Study of cell is calling as cytology. Cyto means cell, logos means study. Cyto means cell, logos means study. So study of cell is calling as a cytology. And here the thing is that for the first time Antony von Leeuwenhoek, scientist name Antony von Leeuwenhoek, a scientist, a great scientist, Anton von Leeuwenhoek. Antony von Leeuwenhoek, Anton Anton von Leuven, Leeuwenhoek. Anton von Leeuwenhoek is a scientist, who discovered a single lens or single biconvex lens microscope. Single biconvex lens microscope. Biconvex lens. What he discovered? Antony von discovered single biconvex lens microscope. See, if you see, sir, when he born, sir, he born means is the lifespan, if you take between 1632 to Okay, 1632 to 1723. Lifespan of Antony von Leeuwenhoek is 1632 to 1723. In between these, he discovered a microscope. And after that, Robert Hooke, he discovered, okay, two lenses microscope. Single lens microscope was discovered by Antony von Leeuwenhoek. Two lenses microscope was discovered by Robert Hooke. Means with some great magnification. Magnification is more. Means with his microscope, we will see the object very clearly. And Robert Hooke, he observed his microscope to study a cork. To study a cork. C-O-R-K, cork. Now our question is, sir, what is cork, sir? Cork is nothing but a bark of tree. A bark. Generally barks are the stem. There is a bark. So bark of tree is calling as a cork. When he observed the cork under his microscope, he observed that there are number of compartments, just like a honeycomb-like structure. When he observed the cork in his microscope, he observed that there are number of compartments, and it looks like just honeycomb-like structure. And each compartment he called as cella. C-E-L-L-A, cella, which means compartment. It is a Greek word, cella, C-E-L-L-A, which means compartment. And if you see, after Robert Hooke microscope, if you see history of cell science, so how it is developed, then after some other scientists, like as 1831, in the year 1831, Robert Brown discovered nucleus. 1831, Robert Brown discovered nucleus. And here you see, remember that point here, Antony von Leeuwenhoek, it is 1674 1674 he discovered, okay, a protozoan with his single lens microscope. Okay, in 1674 he discovered a protozoan in pond water, whereas Robert Hooke cork in 1665. Here also remember 1665. And this is what? This is the lifespan of Antony von Leeuwenhoek. Don't confuse. This is the lifespan of Antony von Leeuwenhoek, 1632 to 1723. And now we will see 1831. So what I told you, 1831? 1831, Robert Brown. What he discovered? He discovered nucleus. Then after 1839, Purkinje. Okay, Purkinje coined the term protoplasm. Purkinje coined the term protoplasm. Then after, in the year 1838, okay, Schleiden, T. Schleiden, S-C-H-L-E-I-D-E-N, Schleiden. Okay, he proposed that all plants are made up of cells, that is plant cells. So he discovered plant cells. Most probably same, nearly 1839, Swan, S-C-H-W-A-N-N, Swan discovered animal cells. See, periods you remember: 1831 Robert Brown nucleus, 1839 Purkinje protoplasm, 1838 Schleiden plant cell, 1839 Swan animal cells. See, after this, in 1855, Rudolf Virchow, this scientist stated that omnis cellula e cellula. What he stated, ma? Omnis, O-M-N-I-S, omnis cellula, e cellula, O-M-N-I-S, omnis cellula, C-E-L-L-U-L-A, omnis cellula, e cellula, C-E-L-L-U-L-A, omnis cellula, e cellula, which means cells are formed from the pre-existing cells. Depends upon that cell theory was proposed by Sladen and Swan in the year 1839. So cell theory states that all living organisms are composed of cells, and the chemical composition of all living cells are same. That is the second one. And third one is that cells are formed from the pre-existing cells. Cells are formed from the pre-existing cells. So these three comes under cell theory. And after this, so this is a history of cell and cell theory. And now I will explain you how this cell is divided. Okay, depends upon the number. Depends upon the number of cells. Okay, it is divided into three types: non-cellular, unicellular, and multicellular. So non-cellular, there is no cell. What is the example, sir? Virus. So in virus there is no cell, there is a protein coat. Virus is we cannot say it is a living organism also. Outside the body of an organism, it is a non-living substance, just like a crystal it is. Okay, so non-cellular, it is virus is an example. Unicellular, uni means single cell organisms. See, amoeba, paramecium, euglena, chlamydomonas. Amoeba, paramecium, euglena. Okay, and including bacteria also comes under unicellular only, chlamydomonas. Then multicellular. So body is composed of many cells. Multi means many cells. So fungi, plants, animals comes under multicellular. So depends upon number, we classified into three types. Non-cellular, we classified the organisms into three types: non-cellular, unicellular, and multicellular. And now depends upon presence of nucleus. Organisms are divided into two types: nucleus. That is prokaryotic and eukaryotic. So prokaryotic, pro means before, karyon means nucleus. That means in prokaryotes, nucleus is not developed. That nuclear structure is not well developed, and there is no cell organelles, there is no cell components like as lysosomes, mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum, chloroplast. These type of things not there. When you come to eukaryotes, U means through Carrion means nucleus. That means these are the organisms which consist a well developed nuclear structure along with that cell components. Means everything. Like ribosomes are there, lysosomes are there, Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, okay, ribosomes, plastids, everything are developed eukaryotic. So prokaryotic example was, sir? Bacteria is the best example. Eukaryotic again you take from fungi. Fungi is an eukaryotic one. Then after plants you take all plant cells are eukaryotic. All animal cells are eukaryotic. Okay. So this is the classification. Next class I will explain you more. Thank you.